Hey, Michelle and Mr. Ollie coming to you from our little morning walk and morning bench. And I wanted to pop off a video for you to share some thoughts on power. Dun, dun, dun. No, actually, it's funny because power is to me so many different layers, and I want to just talk a little bit about the layers of, I guess let's call it the layers of life and the language of life. And so this is going to be a little philosophical, and but hey, let's just go with it. So this morning, often when I first wake up, I like to, after I'm getting back into my body, I like to do just a little random reading, from one of the books on my bedside table. And this morning I opened up one to power. It was like a little daily insert book, and it was on power. And I read it, and it was really lovely. And, speaking about how, we need to listen to and respect our own value and our own power. So I was just thinking about things this morning as I'm walking, and also in meditation, about how, so there's many different layers of power. So there are times when we have that need to, be more intense, more kind of making things happen, as they say, taking action. And if you think about like this is the analogy I want to give. If you think about like a superhero, and there are those times where the superhero really needs brute force, really needs to just, push on through to the other side and save the day. But those times are really small in comparison to, he's listening. Those times are really small in comparison to the times where, we're listening to life, where the superhero has to take a risk and tune in and adjust the course and, just listen to what life, the feedback of life, or, the subtleties of life that is telling him or her. And all of the times also where there's that digging deep to find the courage to really take that next step, even when it doesn't make sense, even when things are, maybe all of the info or the idea or the agenda is saying go this way, and then there's something niggling on the inside, or some sort of hit of feedback from the outside that is like, no, why don't I try this way, this may not make sense, but it makes sense in the end. So I've been thinking this morning about these layers of life and the power of our sensitivity. And that's my shtick. And I really just want to share just a little bit more about this power of sensitivity, of how, it's like when you think about all the things when we weren't listening, when you hear people say, oh, I wish all the signs were there, but I wasn't paying attention, or we feel like, I got a lot of those little nudges and winks and intuitions and hits. I got all those subtle things, but then I didn't heed them, and then something, majorly happened where I discovered there was something going on in my health, but I kind of had a feeling that there was, or I felt like there was something going on in my relationship or with my child, and then, then actually I, realized that there's a real problem. There's something really, tough going on. The whole saying of, when life will whisper at us, and then we'll kind of say, hey, okay, now start to listen. And then after a while, we get the excuse me, hello, and then eventually, if we're really not listening, then we get the 2x4 of life that goes, okay, wake the up. So the different levels of the layers of life and the different layers of power, and the incredible, intricate, and so essential power of sensitivity is sacred. It is, it's a quiet, deep, incredible power. And that is saying it lightly, because it's just really, our sensitivity is what connects us to the subtler layers of life that we can listen to. The layers also in our relationships, in our health, in our creative projects, you know, that ability to really make our sensitivity a valued power and something that we listen to can be life-saving, can be love-saving, can be self-respect saving. So I just wanted to speak on that for a moment here this morning, sitting on a park bench with my Mr. Ollie. And that, like it said in this book that I love, when you see somebody else's power, I'm not going to quote this correctly, but this is the gist of it. When you see somebody else's power and you feel their power, that's their magic. Find your own power and your sensitivity to finding that power, to feeling that power, is your magic. That's where you find your purpose, your the things that light you up. That's where, that's where the good juice is. And we find that through sensitivity. So I just really wanted to speak on the cutie patootie. I just really wanted to speak on the power of how essential sensitivity is to knowing yourself, to connecting with others, to, of course, empathy. Empathy is sensitivity. That's the name of the game. And how absolutely essential this is as a life skill and as a love skill and as a work skill and as a parenting skill. And we, as a society, as women especially, and also as if you are an HSP or an empath, often, we create our own suffering because we have shut off those subtler languages, because because they're vulnerable. They tap us into vulnerability. Basically, because when you are tuning in and you are feeling more sensitive and more in tune with things, it means change. Often it directs us towards change, like the hero, like the Shiro I was talking about. It's those things that don't make sense, but you know them and you feel them to be very real and very true. And so on another level, they make immaculate sense, I'm going to say. And then listening to those things can change change the course of our lives, change the course of the journey, and direct us to what is truer, to what is more our magic. So listening to your sensitivity is, as a power, it is your abracadabra. It is your magical soul's expression in your life, and your sensitivity will lead you to it, will lead you to things that matter, that are important, that feel aligned for you. All right, so that's a little philosophical moment on the bench with Mr. O and me from Michelle. I didn't even introduce myself. So Michelle from Sensate Soul, as well as from the Soul Translator, and I work with sensitivity and embodiment and empowerment in life and in also work, and sensitivity as a spiritual path and as a personal development path. And my senses right now are hearing all the birds chirping and the beautiful morning here, early morning. So hope you can hear those birds. But yes, and then I specialize also working with empaths and HSPs and what I lovingly call as empreneurs, as creative, empathic, entrepreneurs who are using your sensitivities and your skills and your magic and power to make a business and make a difference in the world. All right, so signing off. Come on over to Sensate Soul. Join us over there to get things that I only share in private emails, also to hear about different classes that I offer, and to know more about Sensate Soul School. And also like this video. If you do, leave a comment. Love to know what you feel about this topic, and share with a friend, and all of that good social media love. All right, see you in the next video. Bye for now.